Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday the 14th of June 2024. In today's Mill news, we start off with this. A deal has been agreed apparently, and it's just up to personal terms now between Charlton and Millwall for the services of Alex Mitchell. This was put out today by Richard Colley of the South London Press, londonnewsonline.co.uk. Charlton have agreed a fee with Millwall for centre-back Alex Mitchell. The South London Press understands that personal terms have also been agreed with the 22-year-old who still has 20 months remaining on his Den deal. Our paper broke the news that Mitchell was set to make the switch across South London to the League One club. The defender spent last season on loan at Lincoln City and made 41 appearances in all competitions. Mitchell's first temporary spell away from Millwall was at Bromley in non-league, and he's since gained experience at St Johnstone and Leyton Orient. He spoke to our paper about fully committing to the Imps loan last season. When I'm up here, I like to be up here, if you get me. I feel like if you got one eye on home and one eye on here, then you're probably not as efficient or good on the pitch, he said. This loan has been a bit different. It's the first time I brought furniture up and stuff like that. Normally I just stay up here and I don't really go back home. I remember when I was at Orient, Kenny Jackett used to bang on about trying not to drive as much as possible to save the hamstrings. And he's got so much experience, you learn things from your loans, and that's one that I've taken in. Charlton are also expected to push for a deal for Josh Edwards next week when the Dunfermline left-sided defender returns from his summer break. Remember, of course, that the South London Press also covered Charlton, so now the Charlton fans are seeming very happy about this. Not one negative comment I've seen from Charlton fans about this. And we'll see. I'm sure we're not going to know what the fee is. So there is a fee. So what will that be? We're probably not going to find out. Unless it's quite large and Mill want to brag about how much they've got to appease the fans who are upset that they're still going through. But I imagine it's not going to be a vast sum of money. You'll be lucky if it's 200k. It's probably a lot less than that, with probably add-ons and sell-on clauses and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, deal has been done. Which, trying to look on the bright side of it, here's the thing: if you got a youth team and you're bringing in players to go through the youth system, and the idea is to get them to play in Millwall's first team. If you can't do that, then the second best thing to do is to sell those players and get some money for them rather than just cut them adrift when their contract runs out, which we've done a lot of times with players, certainly a lot this season. Players like Abdul Malik and Nana Boateng. So to get a fee for a player, certainly better than not getting a fee, but still it's kind of I don't like it. It's not giving me a good taste about what may be coming up in the season ahead. But here we go. This is from southernnews.co.uk. Football changes so quickly. Neil Harris questioned on potential departure of Millwall's Alex Mitchell. The 22-year-old defender looks set to be on his way from the Den. Neil Harris said he will always respect any player's desire for a change when questioned on the future of Alex Mitchell. So here we go. This is the thing. You've got this player who's been out on loan. He's been doing very well at every loan he's been at. I think even got like the player of the year or young player of the year at St Johnstone, and he was only there for a half a year, I think. So obviously, when you have that, and then your prospect is, okay, I'm going to come back to Millwall and I'm going to be on the bench if I'm lucky, because how many centre backs do you need on the bench? Probably one. So there are probably two types of footballers in this world: players that want to play, and players that just want money. So fair play to the lad if he wants to play football, and he's had a word with people at Millwall, and they said, well, not really. You're not really going to be in the first team, guaranteed. Or no one should be guaranteed first team, but they said, well, you'll be in the squad, but you might not play that much. And he said, well, I want to go then because I want to play. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Especially if he's taking pay cut. I don't know if he's personally taking a pay cut or what his wages were. So maybe he's getting paid more. Would not surprise me. But so there you go. Let's read the rest of this. The 22-year-old defender enjoyed an impressive loan spell at Lincoln City last season, is set to depart the Den after Charlton Athletic struck a deal with London rivals Millwall. Mitchell has only made one first-team appearance for the Lions during his 6 years at the club, but earned rave reviews from some Lincoln supporters for his performances in League One last season. Harris was limited on what he could say about the ongoing situation, but indicated he was open to letting players leave if he felt it was necessary. Asked about Mitchell's potential departure, the Lions boss told News at then, we've been fully aware of the news that's broken in the last couple of days. At the moment, Alex remains one of our players, and unless I'm told otherwise, I expect him to report back to training on June the 26th. But I always understand players' mindsets, and football changes so quickly. So I've only been back at the club the last few months, and a lot of things have happened. A lot of water under the bridge in that period of time. And like I've always said, we have a lot of really good players under contract that I'm really looking forward to working with. And if at any stage there's a player or two that feels like a change is necessary for pastures new, then I'm always willing to listen, and that won't change in the weeks and months ahead. So he's kind of saying that Mitchell wants to leave without saying that Mitchell wanted to leave. So there you go. Now, I think we have more. It might be the same. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, South London Press. Nothing changes. Millwall still chasing deal for a released Tottenham defender Tanganga. Obviously, was it yesterday or the day before? We heard news that his agent had been meeting with Parma Calcio in Italia, Serie A. So, well, when you would infer from that the more it goes on and the more that you hear that he's talking to this club and that club, it would seem that the deal for the deal at Millwall is dead in the water, but apparently not. Millwall still pushing to land Japhet Tanganga with head coach Neil Harris, saying the defender's recent release by Tottenham does not change their summer pursuit. The Lions agreed a deal with Spurs shortly after the Championship season finished, which would have seen them pay nothing up front for the centre-back, who spent the second half of the campaign on loan in SC16. But Tanganga has opted to take his time in weighing up his next move. Tottenham had a 12-month extension option in the former England under-21 international's contract, but that also included an increase in salary. Instead, the North Londoners decided not to retain him. Tanganga will officially become a free agent on July the 1st. We've been aware for a few weeks that Tottenham are going to release Japhet, Harris told the South London Press. We've had a lot of good work done in agreeing a deal with Spurs if they were going to keep Japhet. Our relationship with Tottenham was very strong on that. They had to do what's best for all parties and ultimately decided to let the player become a free agent. From our perspective, nothing changes regarding Japhet. He's a player we're still very fond of and speak to regularly. He's one that we're following very, very closely at the moment. So there you go. And this from southernnews.co.uk, who a reminder publish on Fridays, as in physical paper publish. As always, we've been very close to one or two. Neil Harris reflects on Mill's transfer plans and what effect the staff recruitment changes could have. Steve Gallen is handling his first transfer window as the Lions Director of Football. Yes, the transfer window officially opened today, Friday the 14th of June. And it looks like we will be selling a player before we buy a player. So let's have a read of this. Neil Harris said it could take a little bit of time for Steve Gallen to implement his ideas into Millwall's transfer process. The former Charlton Athletic chief was hired last month to effectively replace Alex Aldridge in heading up the recruitment department. Despite the changes behind the scenes, Harris revealed Millwall had been close to making one or two signings already in this window. Ooh. But he acknowledged that the staff turnaround could affect how the Lions go about their recruitment this summer, with Gallen bringing his own ideas to the table. Lions boss Harris told News at Den, well, obviously Alex Aldridge has been at the club for a period of time and did a fantastic job with recruitment, running the department and identifying players within the board structure. And Steve Gallen comes in, maybe a slightly different remit and a different thought process of doing that. So it does take a little bit of time. Recruitment now at football clubs now have to be club-led. Head coach or manager has to have an opinion, but ultimately it will be guided and led by the football club. And that's a shift in mentality that's probably really come on in the last 10 to 15 years in the game, and it's certainly something I've had to adjust to. With the transfer window officially opening today, Harris insisted he was confident the plan moving forward, as he looks forward to making his first signing as Millwall head coach since leaving at the end of his first spell in charge 5 years ago. He added, we know where we are as a club now and what positions we need to prioritise. A lot of the discussions and meetings have taken place and continue into the next week with targets. As always, we've been very close to one or two that haven't materialised yet for various reasons, but we hope they will in the coming weeks and days. So there you go. Well, we need 7 players by your own admission, and you might want to get on that. But like I mentioned the other day, why is Alex Mitchell being booted out? Why? Well, it seems he wants to leave, we're being told. And why is Adomo Marku being put out for loan? Because, as I mentioned yesterday, it seems they were the transfers of the previous guy who was in charge. Now the new guy in charge doesn't give a shit because he has no value invested in them. He doesn't give a fuck if Amaku is successful or not because he didn't sign him. So what he will care is that the players that he signs now are successful. So if he's trying to get another striker in, he's gonna want his striker to perform better than Amaku. So there you go. That's something to look out for. I certainly hope that's not what's going on in the club. All that silly bollocks fucking dick waving contest. I really hope it isn't that. Now moving on to this. Another day, another link. The Irish Mirror. Obviously they've figured out that all the Millwall fans are clicking on the Irish Mirror stories that get put up with that feature Millwall, and they've decided to add a few more. So you know those stories where they say, this player, and then he's been linked with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different clubs, and they put these different clubs in, and they try and get those fans of those clubs to click on the story to get a look. Well, here we go. This is from the irishmirror.ie. And they say 5 Premier League and Championship clubs are monitoring UCD prospects. That's University College of Dublin. So let's get now the Irish League for a lot of young players. They're playing right now. Actually, it's a summer league. They changed to the summer league, and they play mostly night games. They play Friday nights and stuff. So it's kind of weird league. They play, like I said, they play in the summer and they play at night. Very weird, very weird. No reason for them to do that. They just moved it to fit in with the English schedule so they could get some fans and some attention. And what we've seen is quite a few. The standard that you can see, it's not quite a few, but a few. Maybe Chris Tarkovsky, you may remember him, or was it Muller, Hayden Muller, and Joe Wright. Joe Wright's over there now. So players that have been released from Millwall under 21s have gone out there, and they're doing so. They're not lighting up the league, which you would expect them to do. Hayden Muller's been a bit hit and miss. Joe Wright's just sitting on the bench, and Chris Twardek, he did okay, and he's had a move. He was at Bows, and then Bohemians, and he went to Poland or somewhere else, Czech Republic, I think. And I think he's back in Ireland now for someone else. So that's the kind of level that it's at. It's kind of not the best, if I'm going to be honest. But this kid that we're being linked with now, he's not even playing in that league. He's playing in the juniors. He's playing in the Irish juniors. So UCD defender Cathal McCarthy is attracting interest from no less than 5 English clubs, including Premier League sides Everton and Fulham. McCarthy, 17, has been a regular for the students under the 20 side this season. He made his first team breakthrough last month when he came off the bench during a 2-2 draw at Athlone Town. He's also been on the bench against Finn Harps, Cobb Ramblers and Wexford. McCarthy cannot move to England until he turns 18 under Brexit rules. Why is that? But his birthday was on August the 31st. Why is that? He can't get a work permit until he's 8. That's kind of... I don't understand that. UCD are currently second. Yeah, but it doesn't matter because he's not playing. He's basically not played for their first team. He's played once as a substitute and been on the bench 3 times. So they're second in the first division. They're not even in the Premier League. So 3 championship sides are also keeping an eye on the young centre-back Derby County, who won promotion from League One last season, Norwich and Millwall. So what that basically means is, like I said before, we probably sent a scout there to watch him, and we probably tried to get free tickets and said, well, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Millwall. Now, could have been a genuine Millwall scout. It could have been someone who wanted to go to a game for free and just said, oh yeah, I'm from Millwall. Can I get free tickets? I'm here to scout some of your players. But why would he do that when the guy's not really playing for their first team? But isn't it weird? So I mentioned the other day was George Nevitt from Rochdale. So you got Alex Mitchell, the young centre back, being bombed out or being let go, wants to leave, whatever. And then we're being linked with 2 other young centre backs. Like I said, the new guy seems to be paving the way, getting rid of all the players to bring in his own players into the club, which so that's we can't be doing that, man. You can't just hit the reset button because someone else signed the players that are here, and you want to bring your own players to prove how great you are. You can't be doing that. But yeah, there you go. So we'll see. I think this is just like a bit of rubbish, to be honest with you, but there you go. Now we're going to finish with this. I'm going to show you some pictures from the training ground. So obviously this is the old training ground at Calmet Road, not the new training ground, which hasn't had anything happen to it yet. This is from Whitehorse Contractors LinkedIn. Whitehorse Contractors have been working alongside our partners Grassmaster Solutions and the Millwall Football Club training ground to create 2 hybrid pitches and grid areas for the club, with drainage work completed by our in-house team. I told you that the other day where they were laying the pipes. So they laid the pipes and now they've been putting in artificial stitching. The stitching and service creates a more stable and consistent playing service. So there you go. So all of this money, time and effort being built, being spent on the old training ground, we have planning permission for the new training ground. There's nothing's been done to it yet. So you would tend to wonder if all of this effort is being put into the old training ground, then what the hell is going on with the new training ground? Will anything ever happen ever? I don't know. You would think obviously there's a vast amount of difference in the amount of money they have to spend on this, the vast amount of money they have to spend building the training ground at West Kingsdown. Not only that, but like I told you the other day, if you saw the video, that the prefab gym at Calmet Road, it only had planning permission. It was temporary planning permission for 4 years. So the club, that's due up next summer, so they have to either try and get it renewed or they will be forced to tear it down. So fun times ahead. Same old Millwall, same old Millwall. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.